welcome to 5 Girls 5 Minutes, where 5 girls talk for 5 minutes and don't edit the videos. It is Wednesday. I am Tally, and I have a lot of things to talk about because I went to Dragon Con this weekend, and it was amazing. It's like a huge convention in Atlanta. It's like the largest fan-run convention like in the world, and you can tell because there are a whole lot of people there. And I'm sorry the lighting is so weird. But while I was there, I brought my ukulele, my songbook, because I thought it would be really cool to have some of the people who are in the shows that I've written songs about sign the lyrics to those songs. So I got Sandeep and Jeff, or aka Bork and Zabu, to sign my guild song. And I got Shamar, who plays Simon on Firefly, to sign my Firefly song, Twixt My Nethers. So I get to say Shamar's signed Twixt My Nethers, which just sounds cool. And then, as some of you know, I wrote a song about Eureka last week, and a bunch of the cast had seen it and mentioned it, and like the guy who plays the main character, Sheriff Carter, Colin Ferguson, had mentioned even on Twitter when I said I was going to Dragon Con that I needed to stop by, and I was like thinking like, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be so cool if you recognized me, because that would be amazing. So on Saturday, I went over to the Hall of Fame, which is where all of the autograph tables are, and I went up to Neil Greaston, who plays Douglas Fargo on the show, and I knew he had seen it, but I asked him to sign my lyrics, and he was like, "Oh, you're that girl, you're Tally. Have you gone over to Colin yet? He's been singing your song all week, and he's so excited to meet you." And I'm like, what is my life? Like, this just cannot happen. So he signed my song, and then I went over to get in the line to meet Colin, and I start crying because it was just like, oh my god, like, this, like, the main actor, this guy knows who I am and has been singing my song. And I finally calmed down. Like, people are legitimately coming up to me and asking me if I'm okay. I'm like, I'm fine, it's all good. I'm just like kind of freaking out right now. And I finally calmed myself down. And then there's like one person in front of me, and he sees me, and he yells out my name. He's like, "Tally!" He's like, "I'm so glad you're here." And then I finally get up there. He starts yelling out to Neil. He's like, "Neely, Neely, look who's here." And he's like, "Get Neil, like, look." And Tally's here, and it was just like, oh my god, like, what is this? He's like fangirling over me like the same way I would be fangirling over him if I was like walking down the street with my roommate, and like I saw him, and it was just crazy. And he was like talking about how he's seen all of my songs and asking about all of my individual ukuleles and how he was so glad I had stopped by. And he told the lady collecting money for the autographs that Tally doesn't pay, and he signed something for my roommate, and it was just so great. He has it. I recorded my Eureka song in the attic of my dorm building, and he has in his head that my roommate forces me to go up to the attic to play my ukulele, which she doesn't. I just go up there because I think it's nice to not interrupt my roommate. And so the thing he signed says, "Forcing her to the attic." Wow, and it's just crazy. And then I went to Eureka, the House 13 panel. I went up to ask a question, and he yelled out my name, and he was like staring at me and like replying me like on Twitter and saying like, "I know where you're sitting," and it was crazy. And look, he signed my song. It says Tally rules, she's awesome, and it was amazing. And then I hung out at the Filk track, and that was like the rest of my weekend. It was like Eureka and Filking, which Filking is like singing songs about nerdy things, which I have apparently been doing for a year. I always thought Filking just meant song parodies. Apparently it can be original songs too, which obviously I've written quite a few of. And so yeah, they want me as a guest on the Filk track next year, like as a legitimate performer at Dragon Con and a guest, and I wouldn't have to pay or stand in like a 3-hour line to get my badge or anything, and I'd like be a guest at a con. And I've only ever been to one con, and now next year I might be like, what is my life, y'all? This is so crazy. Let's move on to other things. Junior production is going really well. I totally pwned out like 25 pages yesterday. Should have it done by today. We should hopefully have the first draft of the script approved by Sunday, and then we can have auditions early next week, and then we can just like really powerhouse on it. It's going to be amazing. And then of course after junior production is done, I think it would be fabulous to do that film festival thing. That sounds really cool. And then the story idea thing, there's a church in Barcelona called the Sagrada Familia, and it's been under construction for years because the architect died while they were still constructing it, and so it's kind of become an expression in Barcelona similar to When Pigs Fly, like, oh yeah, that'll happen when they finish the Sagrada Familia. So I've always wanted to write a story about something that like happens when they finish the Sagrada Familia. It's like a fallout from that. So if I had like the time and the energy to research it, I always wanted to do it as an NaNoWriMo, but it just would require too much research and planning. So yeah, I guess I probably did have time for the theme song, but I definitely was like rushing through things. And I hope everyone had as kick off awesome as a weekend as I did, and I will see you all next Wednesday.